Welcome back to the channel, guys. On today's episode, we're gonna get this AMG GT behind me into the paint booth once and for all and get it completely sprayed in, get the rear bumper all blended in, same with that trunk partition that you guys saw in the previous episode. And we're gonna go ahead and hopefully get this thing completed, all masked up, and get it all sprayed in so it can turn out nicely. But with that being said, let's get straight to the video. So before we can get this thing just driven into the paint booth and start spraying down our base, you know, tri-coat, pearl, and clear coat and all that stuff, we have to go ahead and wet sand the whole entire rear bumper section, plus the top of the trunk section up there as well. And guys, we're gonna have to make sure we feather out all the edges, that way we don't see any lines. We're gonna leave the bumper on there, mask everything in a way so we can blend in our panels and get a perfect match. Since the bumper was damaged in the center and the trunk as well, we're gonna have to make sure they both match. Both those panels have to match. We're gonna have to feather in with the gun. Same with the bumper on the sides. We're gonna feather it into the sides over here. That way the original color is there and we just feather in our blend. That way it has a smooth transition and it blends in with the quarter panel and matches over there. That way we don't have to touch the quarter panel at all. And on top of all that, then after we sand down this primer, we're also gonna have to make sure we get all the water off of it, blow it all out, and then get it into the paint booth and finally lay down our base coat. But with that being said, let's not waste any more time and get this thing all prepped up so we can get this thing all sprayed in. Take a look at this, guys. We got everything all removed. The taillights all out of there. We got the bumper license plate brackets all out of there as well. Got everything all sanded with the 600, 800, scuffed everything. All the little crevices, cleaned everything, blew everything out. Got everything masked up. Got all the lights down below all masked up, and everything is all perfect, guys. This thing is ready for paint. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing dusted off, blown off, maybe wiped off as well, and then get it into the paint booth. Once we get in the paint booth, we'll put the clear plastic, cover the whole car with clear plastic, and this thing is all ready to go to get ready to get sprayed in. Alrighty, and just like that, the whole entire car is all covered. Got our tire covers on there. Got the back bumper all literally primered, ready to go. Got it all taped up 100%. It is ready literally to go ahead and get its base coat applied. After the base coat, we'll go ahead and then feather out our base coat. That way we can blend in those corners. And then on top of that, we'll put in our mid coat, which is our pearl. After this pearl goes and gives it that pearlescent effect, we'll go ahead and finish it off with 3 coats of clear, and this thing's ready to go, guys. I can't wait to put some paint. Let's get right to it. take a look at this, guys. Everything on this thing turned out really nice. It turned out beautiful, how the pearl laid down in there, how the paint laid down in there as well. And I am just ready to go ahead and take all this mask and stuff off the car. We got to be very careful. The clear coat is still kind of tacky, but we'll have to go ahead and take it off now. That way the tape doesn't stick to the clear coat and we don't risk peeling up the clear coat if we do it later. So we're going to go ahead and just go get all this stuff removed and get right to it. Alright guys, so take a look at this. This car turned out beautiful. We put all our base in there, pearl, clear coat, as you guys saw. I put 3 coats of clear coat on this thing, and this thing is just perfect. It is glass, and I'm really happy with how this thing turned out. But what we gotta go ahead and do, we gotta go ahead and put our taillights in there, get both those taillights on there. We gotta go ahead and put the license plate bracket, all the little stuff taken care of, so we can get this thing all ready to go and one step closer for that test drive. Alright guys, so we got one little run, actually 3 runs on this bumper that we didn't notice. Being inside the booth, you can't really see it, so it's kind of tough to see, but there's one run right there on the bumper, and then there is a couple right there. It just looks like it runs down very small, and it's on a flat surface, so we're going to go ahead and get some sandpaper, get a wood block like this, and we're going to go ahead and wet sand and polish this all out so we can have one smooth finish. Wow, guys, take a look at this. This thing turned out beautiful. No more runs, no more imperfections. Let's go ahead and get all the emblems on there now. And now we can go ahead and put everything on without having to worry about the polisher and the pad getting in the way. We have our 3-stage compound over here, made by 3M Perfected. We use the stage 1, the stage 2. That's a 3, actually. There's a 2, there's a 3. Our wool pad, and then our finishing pad over here. And this thing just turned out amazing. It always does. They're pretty expensive, $50 a bottle, but I mean, it does a really good job. Take a look at how it turned out. But let's go ahead and get right to putting the emblems on there and getting it all lined up. And this rear end will be all completed. And there you have it, guys. Take a look at how that turned out. We got everything all finished up, got all the emblems on there. They look perfect. Luckily, we had a picture before we took it apart to know exactly where everything went. We had the measurements for it, so we went ahead and got everything lined up, squared away, and got it back installed. So guys, that's going to be a wrap for today's video. I'm really happy with how this thing is turning out. It is going so quick and everything just going so smoothly. I can't wait for our next video when we get this thing all washed up and get it ready and going down the road for our first test drive. I'm beyond stoked for how everything's coming together as well. And I just can't be any more happy with how this paint job behind me turned out. Everything matches perfectly. We did have 1 or 2 or 3 little hiccups with the runs in the paint. I kind of laid it down a little bit too heavy on the clear, but luckily we got it all solved, got it all smoothed out and all flat. I mean, it looks perfect. You can't even tell the runs was there. You can't even see it. But we got the emblems all installed as well. We had pictures that we took with measurements. Used the tape trick to get it all lined up. That way it doesn't move on you. You know, as you're putting them on one by one, you want to make sure they're all lined up perfectly. You don't want one A sticking higher than the G or something like that. But guys, if you guys like what you guys saw, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button, like, subscribe. I mean, leave us a comment if you have any suggestions or anything like that. But until then, we'll see you on the next one. Hey!